Well, it's practice. Zen practice. Some would say it's a very fierce practice. Even though it may not be loud, unless you're hearing the whack that is performed on you by the teacher. Gives you a good old whack here or there, to bring you to focus. But it really is about sitting and listening, for the most part. It's kind of like music in a way. You have to sit, you have to listen, and then, of course, perform. Here, you sit, you listen in terms of Zen practice, but it's not about manifesting music in a certain sonic form. It's manifesting space. There's the difference. Silence. See, the source of music is what you manifest when you're in Zen practice. So it's the same and yet different from musical practice. But you have to listen, you have to stop, receive, open, and let it come out. So you have to let your realization or understanding of what being is in the form of Zen training or practice. So, what degree of being can you attain or experience or realize without having anything to do with yourself? Your thought, or what could be called your mind, whatever that is. Zen is often called the way of quiet mind.
They refer to practice in an interesting way, in which one practices to practice, not to any particular end. And the way it's shared is very rich in paradox, because practice does have an effect, but you can't look for it. You can't want it.
Oh, you can.
Well, not to any
it's everything.
advantage.
Yeah, see, in that case, practice is everything and nothing. See? So you have to look deeper. See? In other words, there's no form to the practice really, although it seems to be a form, but the practice beyond practice is formless. See? And I think that's what it's useful in Zen theory or theology or philosophy. See? And that is the importance of nothingness. Nothing plays in the process of coming to terms with what it could be or what it is, in fact. See? As no thing. So then Zen practice relates to emptiness training. The essence of emptiness training. Being for no reason whatsoever. For no thought, for nothing. Well, you're just being nothing. It's like your original true self, if there is such a thing as nothingness. It's a good place. Good thing. Nothing. Empty. Void. See? But not negative. See? Positively void. Right? Happy nothingness. Happy emptiness. It's okay.
Reading about it has created a lot of sort of artifacts, little mind remnances, which at the same time seem useful and in the way.
Well, that's your head. That's not anything else but head. It's head machinery. Right? That's thinking. But there's really no one thinking when you sit with it more deeply. There's no one thinking. There's nothing going on at the level of thinking, right? As you look at where the thinking's coming from, you see it has a peculiar quality of disappearing as you try to apprehend it. So where's thinking? Who is thinking? Why is thinking arising? When has it left? When does it come? Yeah. Yeah. You get into the ultimate void of beingness itself. It's easy to slip into it in the form of, let's say, meditation practice. And that's part of the music training here, meditation practice. But not meditation on music, meditation on where the source of music is, a meditation on silence. Say, ultra listening. Say, listening to nothingness. Say, or we can also say, pure beingness. Just gone. Tree to grass, earth to moon, moon to sun, sun to solar system to galaxy, galaxy to the universe, universe to source, source to heart.
The question is about judgment. When is judgment appropriate, and when should we throw judgment out the window?
When is judgment not appropriate? What is judgment that it could be or should be inappropriate? What if we go deeper and say there's no such thing as judgment? And there's no judge. Yeah. Sit with that. So that whatever judgment is not part of a machinery that you can do without. Or maybe should do without. It has to do with a certain kind of considerations and thought processes that are part of the same issue of thought for thought's sake. So, knowing for knowing's sake. And no real presence of knowing beyond knowing whatsoever. No. So we need to bring Zen and emptiness training to a point of, let's say, what we will call transcending your self, thought, and mind, and your world. See? Because there's a level where, in terms of our native unconsciousness, which is also related to the superconsciousness, there's no such things as self, thought, mind, and world. There's no such thing as that. Yeah. Has to be understood. Yeah. We are beyond that now. We are beyond that all the time, but it's not functional to be beyond it all the time. So we have to be empty and full simultaneously to deal with what comes to us as a karmic being in time-space worlds of matter, energy, space, and time. In other words, real judgment is going to come up upon you, like real impulse or real emotion is going to come up upon you. It's not something you can avoid. It's like real sorrow is going to come up upon you. It's going to overwhelm you. Then it's real if it's at that level. It's going to be natural. It's going to be true emotion, true judgment, which may not be any judgment that you think of. It may be more in terms of what you have to do as an action and doing than a thought process. So then it's deeper than thinking. We must go beyond thinking. That has to be agreed upon when you get to the monastery and you enter the door, you enter the threshold, the doorway. Unscrew your lid. Put it aside. Go in headless. Like a good monk. The notion of no thinking is the same garbage as thinking. No thinking is thinking. Thinking is no thinking. They're the same. They're equal. And then there's which beyond the point, who can tolerate that? Void. Nirvanic cessation of noise. Different level. We are all the levels. From absolute silence to absolute sound, noise. They're related, they're the same, and yet they are different. Who cares? Most beings operate comfortably from an assumption of selfness. That's right. Okay. Self is center. And certain practitioners enter a place where then that melts into selflessness. No selfness. So the concept of self as an image dissolves, it disappears. It's not. It goes. Because you're just then aware. You morph into just clear awareness, clear light awareness, which then becomes a basis, a beginning. Another matrix of realities that have to do with entering a different dimension of intelligence. Then it's more in terms of the matrix of clear awareness, clear light awareness. Others would call it pure spirit intelligence. When it's not really a word, but there are words that seem to be more of a window into what is real beyond language. Thought, word, mind, and so on. Thinking. It comes right back down to being. Just being. As not the truth, but possibility. For some it's connected with a deeper sense of being and true being and maybe spiritual being. Peace. Just peace. Calm, quiet, peace. First step, calm, quiet, peace. First step to recovering, true understanding, healing. Integration. And healing. So words are useful to be let go of. Occupy the space with the concept and release it. No concept. Concept, no concept. Concept, gone. No holding. Unless it's deemed to be utterly and absolutely necessary to hold a thought or concept for some creative reason. Otherwise, no purpose. Space then becomes a space of creativity. Room for a spontaneous presence to arise as a form of intelligent knowing beyond self, thought, mind, and world. Good practice? No practice, just is. For many, there's an unknown, maybe for some even unknowable relationship they have with the void itself. Maybe that's feared. Maybe that's a no-no, a void. Who wants to deal with a void? It's a scary concept or something. But the void means clear, open. Use the word empty, but not negatively. Absent, no, but present empty. Empty is presence. True presence. So the relationship has to be between thought, mind, and the void as source. Not thought, mind, looking for more thought, mind, looking for more thought, mind, looking for more, begging for more thought, mind, and remaining in that kind of machine. Of sound. Thought sound. Which is a choice the individual has to be in that mind form of thought sound, thinking. Great. Has a great function out here. But it's not the void as one can realize it to be in terms of the inner, deeper spaces of not only the universe, but universal consciousness. Heart consciousness. Peace consciousness. Spirit consciousness, which the void is spirit consciousness. It's clear, empty of matter, empty of disturbance, empty of stuff, it's empty of everything. Spirit pure, simply, utterly pure awareness. Already here, never not here. Already for your delightful, let's say, appetite, right? For your enjoyment, your nourishment and growth, right? For your perfect meal. See? Your perfect bridge to deeper intelligence, knowing, hearing, seeing, feeling, deeper sense of light, void of self, thought, mind, world, concepts, just being the is of the moment, the eternal now, the timelessness, you. As we enter what could be called a contemplative practice, where you deliberately allow yourself to relax, consciously open to relaxation, say, relaxing your mind, let's say, from tension, stress, and all that might tend to aggravate your self-mind. And you're open to healing the body and relaxing the body. So relaxation is very crucial, say, to the process of going deeper into your intelligence, your awareness. Okay. And peaceful levels of awareness, okay, at that. Not just relax, but going into deeper peace. Healing every cell in your body. Bringing your cells to an awareness of conscious peacefulness. Healing. Every part of the bone structures that you have operating right now as part of your skeletal reality. Yeah, all the bones, all the muscles, all the organs, all the nerves, all of that. Put to rest, peace. And since you're not used to that level of relaxation initially or originally or ordinarily, you have to acquaint yourself with operating at a more relaxed level. And you can operate at that level. You can do more actually, which is kind of a paradox. You do more. See? And get more done from the relaxed state than the usual sort of state of speed and neurosis, which serves to exhaust your condition, wear you out, stress you out. So you have to adapt to it. It's an adaptation. You need to work from the inner, the inside, the deep side, if you can. Not everybody needs to do that. Not everybody wants to do that, to be slow. We're not talking about being slow. So, talking about being calmer, not just slow. Because when you're calm, you can be as fast as you need to be, maybe even faster. See? You can be at the speed of light and not even know it. Calm openness. Takes practice and getting used to. See? It's like being positive. Takes used to being positive. Being more open takes practice to be more open. So it's called training in the general traditions of spiritual practice. To train yourself. Enlightenment training. Stopping, looking, listening, but very deeply, however. Not for a few seconds. Yeah. But for years. Years. And years. Phew. And before long, practice, see, bringing yourself to do, and the discipline that is necessarily in the beginning, it's the realization. The realization is not other than that. Realization is practice. Practicing realization, realizing, practice. And maybe enlightenment is not having anything to do with it at the same time.